Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Trevor Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we are giving our first impressions of potions of Azerland.
I believe so.
We're always using these names of places in our game titles, and it always makes it difficult to pronounce for people like me. But I try. And yeah, this is a game. You can maybe tell if you've ever used Board Game Arena before. This is a game on Board Game Arena. This is the way we played it, so we did not play a physical copy of it. So keep that in mind as we are reviewing it, because obviously going to be a different experience. Uh, but yeah, this was one. I think I was mainly pulled in by the artwork, by the
Oh, yep.
great one, Andrew Bosley Bosley, as we call him. I feel like I once knew his name, but I think you had said the
Yep.
two of them enough that now
I
I am
did.
not even sure myself of what it is.
I messed you
Uh,
up.
I
I
think
did
it's
my job.
Mosley, but I could be wrong. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. And yeah, this one, great artwork on this, and it's got kind of a little bit of a bidding action selection system in
Oh,
it.
yep.
And so I was, going through I think there was a tutorial on this one, which is a nice thing about Board Game Arena. If you're trying to learn these games, you want to know if you should get yourself a copy of them, or if you do have a copy of them and you know it's on here. Some of them have tutorials, and they're usually pretty good. So I would highly recommend going and checking those out. And as I was going through it, I'm like, okay, this seems like could be a fun game. It's kind of a medium Euro game where you are, you know, bid essentially bidding on the five different actions you do each round, and
Yep.
then there are 6 rounds in each game. And kind of whoever has the lowest number gets to, uh, in 3 of the rounds, kind of gets 4 action points, and the one in second, in a two-player game at least, gets 2 action points. So they get more action points if they are the lower number. And in the other round, the other 2 round or the other 2 actions that use it, I think um, it's the player that gets to kind of choose first. So
Yep.
usually you're getting a better reward if you're the one going first with the lower number for that action. And yeah, it seems like a very simple thing. It's like, okay, if you want to do that action, you got to have a number on there. If you don't want to do that action, I do like that you can see on those numbers 1 through 5, you got coins on the top. So instead, you can say, well, I'm not going to take the study action this round. I'm just going to flip that over and flip the 5 over and take a coin. Or if you're willing to forego being maybe first in one of the things, you can get rid of your 2 and take 2 coins instead. Um, so I liked that little thing where it's like you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You can flip a thing over and get some coin. Uh, but yeah, otherwise you are pretty much getting resources, creating potions, and then you are fulfilling contracts. People that want potions, and then they usually give you a bonus or some ongoing benefit. But in this one, and I will say I think this is the big hook in the game, and I don't know that I've played other games with something quite like this. Usually, most contract fulfillment style games or games where you are
Yep.
taking kind of raw resources, changing them into something else, using them to complete contracts. Cards, in this case, you're fulfilling, giving yellow potion or blue or red, depending on what they want, filling those. Instead, you can choose to keep the potions yourself, and you can drink them. You can consume these things and benefit from them yourself in other ways. And I think that was one of the biggest hooks in this game, because you can see here on your player board, you've got the kind of yellow, red, and blue split into 3 different columns. And right now, there's a little cube on there on kind of that first level, and it's saying kind of it's a novice level potion, so you're kind of getting a lesser reward, kind of. Kind of depends if you need those things or not. You can, as you are, there's ways to level that cube up as you study, but you can always choose to go back and take one of the lower rewards instead of taking the one that it's on if you want to. But especially those top level ones early on in the game, you can see they also have little green tokens. Those can give you special abilities kind of throughout the rest of the game once you've drank that potion once in that novice level thing, which I thought was also very cool. But just in general, I think that's a very cool thing, and it felt really good in this game because I felt like you were getting really good stuff. So it's not even like
Yeah.
I'm foregoing. It's still you had that decision of foregoing possible points and
Yeah.
characters that you're helping to drink it instead, but it felt like a fair trade-off. It wasn't like, I'm getting a little something. It felt pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I agree because it feels like, oh, I could get points with this, and that's how you win the game. Do I really want to do this? I know in some games they do have alternate effects for some things, not exactly like this, but it's just one's usually the one that I highly prefer. But this one, like you said, especially when you upgrade those benefits, even to the second level, it just feels really, really powerful. Like the yellow one, you get to flip cards from the market, which are usually these ones that in the market phase you can pay coins to get resources. You can flip those from the top of the deck. You can see one of them has a hand symbol on the right. If you flip three hand symbols, you bust and you lose some points. But otherwise, you get a resource for each card that you were able to flip. It's a little bit of push your luck, but you ended up getting like six resources, six, seven resources one of the times, which is well worth a potion because you can make
Yes.
two potions with that in the potion crafting phase. So like you're getting hopefully something equal to a potion or even better when you do that. And I think that's what makes it. Because if it felt lesser, it would have just been something that we never used. And I feel like there's some things in games where, not that I'm an expert and I know they're not worth it, but just I don't feel like using sometimes. And this one, I felt like using those, and I'm thankful for it because it just adds so much to the game.
hmm I would 100% agree. And yeah, I think that's really the hook of this game because otherwise, I would say that this game felt very like procedural. Uh,
Yeah.
and you were kind of, yeah, you feel like you're doing the same thing every round, getting some resources, because the actions happen in the same order every round. So you're rolling some dice, getting some resources, and you can potentially study, which goes up on those tracks, which kind of can also give you resources and unlocks kind of those better potion abilities that you can use in later turns. And um, then you go to, I think, the market. Then you can create potions, and then you fulfill. So it'd be kind of that same layout in every round. And I I think it was very smooth. I think it all felt good and worked. And I think that's what helped it. If I think if it had felt like rough around the edges at all, it maybe would have hurt it. I think would have hurt the game quite a bit.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that or not? If it wasn't, or did you think it didn't feel smooth? Felt like it
I,
was a pretty smooth thing from each part of the process. Like the gears
yeah.
went pretty smoothly. I thought.
I think so. I think because I get worried when there's like an order like that, but they work together. They are in the right order. You get the resources, you get more resources, and like you're able to get gold like immediately if you turn it down. So then you can go to the market. You have the gold there. Nothing's out of order. Um, and everything made sense the way it was ordered, the way it's done. It did feel very smooth. I did really, really enjoy the process, and it was rewarding enough that it could hurt it if you don't plan out well enough.
Yeah,
And that's one thing that I'm still not sure of, like with something like this, or it makes me think of Rurik a little bit. I guess I forget exactly how that kind of action bidding system works, but this one, especially in deciding, do I try to activate all five actions, or do I just get
hmm
a coin with something? Like if it's going to be really close, like kind of comes down to maybe the roll of some dice. I'm like, I could be left not being able to fully use the action that I'm using here, so maybe I should have just done coins. Luckily, I think it worked out pretty much every time, but I could see being left with nothing to do on a round where
that's fair.
maybe you could have gotten a coin instead. So that planning there could possibly be punishing in the right circumstance or the wrong circumstance. But um, other
That's
than
fair.
that, I think it was really, really solid.
Yeah, I thought so as well. And yeah, that leads to uh, probably, I think we both agree. 'Cause I was thinking it, and then you said it like I think a couple minutes later. Uh, Feels like this is going to be at least a round too long.
Yeah.
For maybe it's just the way we play. I know sometimes we tend to have some analysis paralysis, um, but I think I don't even know that it was the length of the game that felt long. It was more it felt like we were doing the same thing over and over, one too
Yeah.
many times, possibly two too many times. Because I feel like a couple of those last few rounds felt like okay, I could have seen it ending here, would have felt satisfying. Definitely the last round felt long to me. I think you agree with that, Pepper.
Yeah.
Just because you are kind of doing that same thing over and over again. Um, so I think that was probably one pretty decent negative on the game. I think with what it's doing, I would have had it one round, maybe two rounds shorter. But uh, I guess that's specifically in a two-player game. I don't. Maybe it feels a lot different in higher player counts. Maybe I think the things would be. I think you'd have more cards and stuff that you're working with in higher player counts. So maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would. Can't tell you for sure. But otherwise, I think it still worked. I wasn't like at the rounds, but it was kind of like had my fun with the game, and I think because of the potions, it kept it interesting. If it didn't have that potion piece, I think it
Yeah.
really would have like felt like this is really because I think those extra rounds are maybe what allow you to use those higher level
Yeah.
potions
Yeah.
because it does take you a few rounds to actually get to the highest ones. So maybe that's why it is, so that you can activate those maybe a few times during your turn versus, oh, I finally got there and now it's too late now I'll never be able to use that ability. Because
That's
I think we
true.
did both not do study the last round because it's like, well, we're not going to be able to use this again, so
I think
why
it
should
was like
I?
the last, might have been the last two rounds that we
Yeah,
didn't take the action. We got some bonuses elsewhere, I think, but um, yeah, which is good because you're getting coins. I mean, that's fun to do
that's
that
true. It does give
differently,
you
but
an easier option, which coins are pretty tight in this game, so I do like that at least opens you up in that one because it, like Pepper, it's like I want to do all these things if I
yeah,
can, but I might need coins if I'm going to go to the market because I really don't need to activate that market action if I don't have any coins because I can't buy anything, so it wouldn't really make any sense for me to go there without any coins. Um, but overall, I think this it has that interesting hook that I'd like to see in other games, so I think that does help it for me. The length hurts it a little bit, so it's maybe somewhere in the middle. Um, I think because of that, I probably would not get a physical copy myself as of now, unless
yeah,
I played it some more times and was like, I'm actually getting a different feel now, and I think it actually does need to be this many rounds.
yeah,
Maybe then I would change my mind, or if Michaela plays it on here with us or something, and she really, really loves it, then maybe.
yeah.
Um, but I'm probably still coming in at a seven. Um, if I played it more times, could see that maybe going down. I think from my initial feelings, I would think it'd be more likely to go down than up, but it could
Yeah,
go up. I think it's just, I believe the boards are static. I don't know if there's different powers and stuff. I think
yeah,
that part would help it a bit if you had different powers for drinking those potions and stuff. Kind of
yeah,
mixing it up from game to game, or maybe different people have different powers. I think that
yeah,
would help it. And maybe they already have that. I don't know. Maybe it's just. I guess I don't remember if there was an option to have kind of
yeah,
different ones or not. But if
yeah.
it is just one set of them, I think it would make it a little more interesting to have kind of different ones to
Yeah,
use.
and I do kind of feel that. I'm like, I just feel like there's something an expansion could do, not only with just those maybe possibly different potion abilities, new characters, but just feels like there's something, maybe something we could add in there as well to really take it to the next level. But I did enjoy it. I'm kind of torn because I'm like, I kind of want to give it an eight because I just really love the process of being able. I just had so many satisfying rounds because you had a lot of carryover. Of you played a little more efficiently. You had potions and resources left over at the end of the rounds, but I just pretty much was left with nothing. Maybe like one resource at the end of a round to start the next one. So. And I'm like, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I actually get what I want in this next round and maybe buy a person? satisfy their order. And then I was able to do it, and I'm like, it leaves me with that high of like, oh yes, I was able to do it, got all those resources, did like 5 different actions in one round, but kind of doing that again and again and again and again, and maybe just one or two too many times. One especially, I think, for sure, feeling it, kind of starting from zero. I think I felt it maybe even more than you did, just kind of doing the same thing. I could see it getting old, especially with the same potion powers, but I'll still give it an 8. The mechanics are great. So I
Yeah,
had a lot of fun with it.
yeah, it's a very clean game. Outside of that time factor, and kind of feeling like you're doing the same thing. Like I said, it all felt very smooth and stuff. I can't name anything like specific that I would say, oh, and this really felt awful or bad and really didn't run well for me. I thought all of it was smooth as well. And that's why I still, even with that, I have to give it that 7 because I definitely probably will play this one some more times on here. And yeah, we'll see where that leads it. But yeah, if you want us to do a playthrough of this one, we have done playthroughs of the board game arena versions of these games before. We'd love to film that if you want to see kind of how it's played on here, learn how it's played. We'd be willing to do that. But otherwise, if you've made it this far and you've enjoyed the video, you can give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. You can subscribe for future content like this. And as always, you can continue to keep on nibbling on our content and those potions.